Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How's everybody doing today? If you have any questions, comments, properties you'd like to sell, things you'd like to discuss, all things real estate, go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. You can actually program me right into your phone if you ever need to text me with anything. So, also, before I forget to tell you, if you have not done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching it in video. Leave me a thumbs up, a rating and review, or put a comment down. I greatly appreciate. So I know that you guys are out there and it helps me get this out to more people. The second thing is, if you know somebody else who is doing real estate or would appreciate from some of the content we go over, please share it. We have almost doubled our numbers from the amount of people listening to this podcast from January to February, and we want to continue in that trajectory. So if you know anybody who this would be beneficial to, please do me a favor and go ahead and share it. I would be forever grateful to you. So today I have a awesome thing I want to discuss with you. And that is, you guys have heard me over these last couple of days, well, probably it was last week, talk about this Wholetail I got under contract. Well, a couple of things out. First of all, the big news is we have it ratified now to sell. And I'm going to break down the numbers with you today. But a couple of other things I wanted to discuss with you because I found it really interesting. So I'm pretty sure I told you when I originally got it that I was competing, that he had 4 offers total. Four and I was the 5th, or 3 and I was the 4th. I don't remember. 26, 28, 30. Yeah, I think he had 4 total. 4 total. I was the 4th offer and I was the highest. Well, since I made these videos and I actually put out, made these podcasts, but I actually put out a video showing the interior of the property, 2 different people, friends of mine who are investors, have texted me or called me stating that they were another one of those 4 offers. 2 people that I know were actually in that same pile and working on this exact same house. And, he didn't actually show me the offers, but he told me the prices on them after the fact. And so it was interesting. Out of 4 offers, 3 of them knew each other. And well, maybe the 4th, I don't even know who the 4th one was yet, if I'll ever know. But it was interesting. And the numbers are turning out to be really fantastic. The other thing I wanted to share with you is one of the other offers that was the one who's a friend of mine. He actually got this. I got the lead from direct mail, and it was from our Velocity program, which he probably got the mail in like October or November, because that's when I believe the initial call was, but he wasn't ready at that time. So October or November is when he originally got it. One of these other guys got it from Deal Machine, which, as you guys know, we didn't talk much about it yet, but Deal Machine is your cheapest source for leads, cheapest source for good leads. And for those of you who don't know about Deal Machine, it is basically an app on your phone that when you drive around, you can look for a distressed property. In this particular one, he said there was piles of trash out front because the guy had just moved out. His tenant had moved out. Remember, I told you this guy had it as a rental for 15 years, same tenant. Well, the tenant had just moved out, so there was piles of trash and furniture in the front. So he saw that, so he took a picture of it. And right on the Deal Machine app, you take a picture of it. It gives you the information, so you know if there's any equity. Gives you the owner's mailing address, and then if there's equity and you want to mail it, all you do is just click a button that says Start Mailers, and it'll start sending postcards to the owner with that picture on it that you just took, asking if they're interested in selling your house. So if you guys do not already have Deal Machine, I'm going to give you a code so that you can actually get 15 free credits, which means you can actually mail 15 postcards and it won't cost you anything. They do that only for brand new people starting off. So if you guys are ready, the code, if in fact you want to try it, if you're not already a member, is FREE15. That's FREE15. FREE15 is the code, and you type that code in and you're going to get 15 free credits on the Deal Machine app. So it's absolutely fantastic. You guys, if nothing more, try it for your 15 and then cancel if you don't like it. But I promise you're going to like it because it's something that we use all day, every day, whenever we're out and about. I even do it sometimes if I'm in a commercial building. I'm curious what the person paid for it or how much they owe on it. I mean, it works on everything. So it's awesome. You're going to love it. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was breaking down the numbers on this slow flip. And I told you some of the numbers already, but I want to tell you my estimated profit on it because this is epic for not doing any rehab at all. I literally didn't. Originally, I think I told you I was going to put on a roof and I was going to do some touch-up paint. I didn't do anything. I literally just listed it the way I got it. So I'm going to start you off. I purchased the property at 142. So I don't know. I didn't actually get to see the competitor offers, but from what he told me, which it seemed crazy if they were literally in this order, he said there was one at 136, 138, one at 140, and I was at 142, which seems crazy that they were all exactly $2,000 apart. But I ended up contracting it at 142, and that is what I purchased it for. So I bought it at 142, but one of the things when he called me back is he said, well, my other offer says that the buyer was paying closing costs. But it was significantly less. It was probably $2 or $4,000 less. And I jumped the gun, but I don't mind. And I jumped the gun and I said, oh, no worries. I'll take care of your closing cost. And he was even like, well, I wasn't asking you to. And I said, no, it's not a big deal. We'll just cross that out and write that the buyer will pay both sides of closing costs. So he did. So I purchased it at 142, but I ended up paying his closing cost and my closing cost. So all in all, I was in it for about 144.5. I'm using 145 to make the numbers easy, but I was in it for about 144.5. After paying my closing cost and paying his closing cost. So after I closed on it, I went over to look at it and I did absolutely no work. My intentions were that I was going to put a new roof on it. The roof only has maybe 2 or 3 years left of life in it. So my intentions were to put a new roof on it and then maybe do some touch-up paint, even though it was recently painted, but there was a few things that looked like could be a little bit better. So my intent was to do a few little things. But then when I met my agent over there, he actually said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we list it as is? And if we don't get a buyer in the first maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, then we'll delist it. Then I'll do the work and then we'll relist it at a higher price. So he told me if I did the work, and you guys can do this math for yourself. He said, if I did the work, we can probably list it at 239. Which would be fantastic. And the work would probably cost me 10 grand, right? So let's just use those numbers. So at 239 and 10 grand worth of work, I probably would have made an extra $10,000. But for that extra $10,000, it might be an extra month coordinating the work that needs to be done. Even though it's not a lot of work, people have to put it onto their schedule before I can get it listed again. And then, the market's hot right now. It'll probably stay hot, but we don't know. And, it's a bird in the hand. So I said, well, let's try it. So what we did is I did absolutely no work and we listed it at 214.9. We originally talked, it might have been 219, 215. And so we ended up agreeing to 214.9 as the list price, which I thought was fantastic. I thought that was a really fair price on both ends because there are fully renovated houses for 240. And so I had to be lower, but still make it so it's a good deal for me. So we had it listed and it took 2 days, which was funny because Andy called me and he said, oh, I know I was hoping to get you a deal yesterday, being on the market one day, but it took 2 days. And then we got a contract on it now for $216,000. So the contract came with escalation clauses. I don't remember exactly, up to like 221, but we didn't get a second offer the same day. And I decided to just accept it at the 216. One thing, I don't play games with people. I know a lot of times when people do these escalation clauses, they play games and try and get it up, and I don't. So he had an escalation clause in, but we didn't use any of that, and so he's getting it at the initial lower price. So $216,000 is what we're selling it for. They did not ask for any closing cost assistance, which is now common in our market. So, I always talk about it's a 10% selling cost. And the way I factor that is 6% agent commission and 4% closing cost assistance. We are in a hot seller's market now. And so most buyers are no longer asking for that closing cost assistance. And if they are, oftentimes they're adding it on to the purchase price, providing it will still appraise. So I'm paying out commission for the agents, but I am not paying any closing cost assistance. My 6% agent commissions will come out to $12,960, give or take. I'm pretty sure I got that dialed into what it is. That's 6% of the 216. So the commissions will be $12,960, which gives me an estimated profit on this deal of $58,000. And that's $58,000 without rehabbing it, without doing anything. Now, it's not like a wholesale where all I did was sell the contract. In this instance, I actually closed on the property. So I'm the owner of the property now. And then I listed it on MLS. That's why we call it a wholetail. It's like a cross between wholesale and retail. Normally, we do some work to the property. In this particular one, we didn't do any work to the property. But my estimated profit on it, and we have about 30 days now to get to closing, and I'll keep you guys in the loop until we get there, will be $58,000 on the property as profit. So one last thing I wanted to address before I let you go is the seller. And I really like talking about this because sometimes when people will see this and hear the numbers, their first thought will be, well, one is, why didn't the seller just list it himself? And then two is, did you take advantage of the seller? And I want to explain both of those to you. 100%, absolutely not. The first thing out of my mouth when I was on the appointment, when I saw the condition of the property, the first thing I told him is, you don't need me. You need to just list this property. I wish he was here and we can even ask him. That's the first thing I told him. I said, you don't need me. You just need to put this property on the market. It's in great shape. And he 100% went over and over. And he said, well, if I have to, that's what I'll do, but I just don't want to mess with it anymore. I don't want to mess with it. He just decided one day, I'm done. I'm over it. I want to get my check. And we've had the conversation multiple times as I was working with him. I said, you can just put this on the market if you want, you can just list this. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to have to deal with coming. He lived about 30-40 minutes away. And I don't want to have to deal with coming back and checking on it. And I don't want to have to deal with having to do any repairs. And I just want it done. I just want it done. So it wasn't like it was a secret. We told him all along, you can just list this. We provide solutions to people's problems. And I always try and stress this with my people I work with. Stop thinking about it as a house and as the numbers you're buying it for, and start thinking of the person and what we can do to solve their problems and satisfy their needs. And in this situation, his needs strictly were, I want it gone. I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Yes, I know I can do this, this, and this and get more money, but that's not what I want to do. I want it gone and I just want to pick up my check. And so there we go. And that's how opportunities are born. Somebody who is willing to deal with that headache, someone who is willing to do what the work that needs to be done, gets to make the profit from it. It's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm going to keep you in the loop until it finally comes and I get to have a check, and I'll show you exactly how it ended up turning out. Make sure that you do something today that your future self will thank you for, and you'll be glad that you did. A few years from now, you're gonna be saying to yourself, "I'm glad I listened to Scott." When you set yourself free, trust me, the world is going to line up and ask you how you did it. Thank you guys for watching. Click the thumbs up button so I know that you're out there. Subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to speaking to you guys tomorrow. Have an absolutely fantastic day.